Hello, welcome to week 4. Can't believe we're already at week 4. This week we're gonna do primary keys, okay? And so I've given you some reading assignments about primary keys, and I hope that you've gotten your book out and done your reading, both in the appendix and in the book itself. That I gave you specific places to go and look, um, go and read. So I just want to make sure that you do that because I think it'll be really helpful for you in this week. So moving down, think about starting. So you should be working on Essay 3, data collection. I know I've gone over that before, so I won't go back over that. This week, for your reading, I'm going to be having you read about table relationships. And here, defining relationship, defining relationships, and dividing table relationships, and searching types of table relationships. And relationships are all keys or search words that you can use, or else they're also words that you can just go to the chapter. This is page 518 to 525. I'm pretty sure that's it's module 9. So you can go into module 9 and to the table of contents and look for understanding types of table relationships. And anyway, and then you can go into the appendix and look for relationships. Okay. Here, read relationships examples. This is just a handout to make sure that you understand examples of relationships. And then this is a video that explains many-to-many relationships, which is more complicated. And you're going to need to declare your final project. So in the discussion. And then the essay 11 is about primary keys. Okay, and so I've got a link here, but I'm not sure that this link even works, so I need to take that out. But you can go down here to essay 11 to the link here, and you'll be able to get it. And then, of course, weekly update 4. I want you to know that with these weekly updates, there's several goals that I have for these weekly updates. One of them is to stay in contact with you as my student. Another is to encourage you and to help you believe in yourself. And so I'm trying to this semester adopt a theme of encouraging growth mindset. And you should have read about growth mindset last week. Yeah, I just want you to have encouragement. Online is hard because you're not interacting face to face, so that gets tricky. And your whole life can be overwhelming at times, and then having this class on top of it can feel kind of daunting. So I'm wanting to try to encourage you to think in a positive way about the fact that you're growing and you're going to get there. That's one of the reasons. But I did want to make sure that I tell you that if you have a pressing issue, don't put it in one of these weekly updates. Actually, email me so that I see it more quickly. The weekly updates, I grade them when I can, so I might not be able to get to it in a timely manner. So make sure that you email me or yeah. Now, if it's just a question about the material, then of course go ahead and post it in questions and announcement on that discussion board. Okay. So here, primary keys. Let's see, you can right click if you don't want this page to go away. You can right click and open in a different link, and then just come here. And so for me, it's going into design, but I can preview it for you. And then you can click on Start Quiz. Okay. And someone asked about where to get the database that you need for this exercise, and it's right here. Okay. There's a couple of things that I want to highlight that about primary keys. One is, and they're both right here. Okay. Primary keys cannot be left blank, which is also known as having a null value. And primary key values must be unique. And what I mean by unique is nothing else. There can be no other occurrence of that primary key value on another record. Yeah, so anyway, I just want to make sure that I draw your attention to that. This particular exercise, what it's trying to do is help you to understand some of the error messages that you'll run into when you do your final project, and to help you understand what, the details of a primary key, which you need to really understand especially if you're moving on and learning more about databases, going on to do database design. So yeah, so I really want you to understand primary keys on a deeper level, which is why I have this supplemental activity. Okay. The last thing that I want to go over is I want to go in here to discussions, and I just want to pull up the announcements for this week. So I went over where the primary keys database is. The dates in the content were off by one date. So I apologize. I had to go in today and fix that. So they're now adjusted. And the other thing that I wanted to point out, especially with this primary keys, you'll run into this, is that if you've got an error that you run into with your doing your primary keys supplemental activity, you'll get an error, and then you'll click on OK, and then you'll try to do something else, and you'll still get the error, and you'll be in this infinite loop of getting this error, and it'll feel like, gee, what am I supposed to do here? And the thing I want to tell you is that when you get an error message, click on OK, and then press the escape key. And sometimes you have to press it a couple of times, and then it'll wipe out the problem, and you won't get the error message anymore. So I want to make sure that I bring that up. And I don't know if let's see, February 4th. Yeah, no, I talked about this last time. So anyway, and then Beverly was kind enough to bring up the issue about where to get the files for the extra credit option 2 for Essay 3. So you can read that in there. I'm pretty sure I created a video showing you how to do that. Anyway, that is this week's update. Of course, if you have a question or a concern, always post it you can always post it in the discussion board, or if it's of a personal nature, then you can always email me. Okay, so go forth and get lots done.